welcome. Let's try and do something today. A little small piece about depression, anxiety, and generally mental struggles in the process of life. So let's start with that. You have been at the bottom of the earth, so to speak, and back.
A lot.
Suicide as well.
A lot.
Let's put through that. Let's see how you walk through that. Tell us about it.
So much of it, but I think mostly if you want to help a person coming out of depression, it has to be understood in just one as one. Let anything just be one. If you're talking about sadness, let sadness be one.
Okay.
Yeah, but if we package these words, depression, with a lot of reasons, we are going to be diverted from the truth of the seed and the root of depression.
What is the seed and the root?
So the seed and the root of depression, it comes from a place of hopelessness.
Okay.
And vanities. So it's a place where if your awakening is misguided.
Explain.
And let me explain it this way. Few people in our country, I think, they don't know what it means to be awakened.
In the world.
Yeah, it's okay in the world, but I think in other countries, I think that better than ours.
No.
Maybe.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
You know what? You know why I say this? Because I've walked through and I've noticed that people are either awakened with themselves aware, and there are people who are awakened without themselves knowing.
Yes, but also I've also noticed that with other countries versus our country, I've noticed that a lot of people who move out of their country are the cream. So if you go to the Chintuwingi of people, they are still the same place we are at.
Exactly.
So, but let's go on.
For sure.
So you said something about a place of hopelessness of some sort?
Yeah, the place of hopelessness is where maybe you're awakening, you are getting into awakening. Then you start from the place where you are called to see everything as useless. Then you don't have the assurance words that helps you to come out of that place. Many people remain from there. Many have actually died. They've just killed themselves. A few is hopeless.
Did you consider that?
I did. I think I did. It was multiple times, and mostly I would feel I just have to walk around and walk far. But I would have that, conscious and mind that still remained in me. I think my mother's spirit would lead me back home.
But you did try?
Yeah, I did. I had the moments of doing that. I had the moments of sleeping in the bush, but that was not like anyone. Still, sanity was playing its part. I would still feel like people were looking at me. How now? You understand? Because I never wanted to leave out my swag.
So would you think that? So you're basically saying that what kept you coming back was you had an anchorage to the world.
Yeah.
If you like.
Yeah, I think that's another place where maybe many people should, again, they fail to let go of the world. If we take it in the Christian circle, where people be told to now let go of everything. I think that's a place where you surrender. But if you're not given guidance in which words, which grounds, flows, places to step as you are coming out of depression, it becomes difficult to live out those places. And because those guidances of the words are from other people who had their similar situations, and they walked out of that and they found hope, and they found now reasons that are meaningful.
So what? Let me do a mini summary. You tell me if I've got this wrong, but this is the way I've understood it, and this is the way I think. What if you're going to do a mini summary of what you're saying? You're saying that there is a process from this material world, the materialistic world, which is more sort of a spiritual walk to enlightenment.
Yes.
Now, in order to move from this point to this point, you are brought to this intermediate phase, a purgatory of sorts, where you are not yet at enlightenment, which is the promise and the bliss, and you are not on your material world, which you completely understand and can work around. So you are called to this place where there is zero purpose. You are neither here nor there. That place, if you stay in that place long enough and unguided, you will sink into depression or into self-destruction, such as suicide, because you are not tethered to your material world, and you're not tethered to your enlightened spiritual world. So in that space in between is where there is a sort of nothingness, and I would like to throw something in there, which is that when you go now for therapy for out of depression, people pull you back to a physical world. They tell you things like go and find importance in things like school, make new friends, do things that will keep you busy. They are pulling you back to this part of the world. While if you go the spiritual path, they're telling you to let go of everything that is this way and be in a world of bliss and absolute ecstasy and enlightenment, where your spirit is free, which is another end of deeper self. But because we might have lack of, we go into this place accidentally. We don't have someone assigned to walk us this side. Unlike when you're in a spiritual environment where someone comes into your material world and tells you, let me walk you to the spiritual world. So when you're crashing there, there is someone next to you who understands what you're going through. A spirit guide, if you must, who walks you past that space, and there is no way of reaching the enlightenment without that crash. Would you agree that there's no way of reaching enlightenment without a crash?
I think should I say there is and there is not. I think there's some times where, because it goes with how much the world was into you.
Go on.
And how much other people, maybe the world was not into them, but it varies. There are people right now who the world was too much in them. To the point that when they are now taught to leave this place to that place, it becomes so difficult. I think that also the Bible says that God is the Alpha and Omega. The time of the birth is called the Alpha time.
Yes.
The time of your death is the Omega time. Between the birth and the death, there's this play here between. I think that's what you're trying to explain here. And this place, a play between here, is where a lot of things happen. Other people, they call it Satan here. And other people, they call it maybe depressions or challenges, whatever it is. But this is a moment of awakening that actually hands people to their reality. It's like future calling you into itself. And then the moment you come to find out face to face with God, that's what is called sometimes God. I call him God. The awakening is like the awakening of God facing you. You understand? Like,
yes.
It's like the reality, the awakeness of God.
Yes.
God is not sleeping.
So you actually wake up into your spiritual vision or view of the world.
Of the world.
You see it differently.
The way the intelligent one sees it.
Yes.
So now a battle between how you were taught and how this thing comes, it becomes a very conflicting one, where you now begin to sense this maybe is what they call madness, because no one told you this path before. No one, even in churches nowadays, we don't talk about these awakenings. We only talk about the verses, John 3:3, go and read it on your sleep, or maybe you call me, I'll give you anointing oil. But this has not worked. You understand?
Which brings me to one of the things we wanted to talk about: everyone praying for miracles and wanting them to work. What's your take on miracles?
Of course, miracles are there, but a miracle is a spirit of that introduces you to your potential.
Okay, and this potential will be within you already?
It just becomes part of you. It's like it becomes part of you, and whenever you need anything to happen, it's already set by God in a mysterious way, where when that time of your struggle or not knowing when to go, at times that time comes.
Yes.
It's like a heavenly signal, yeah, that signals the intelligent one, his son, his daughter, where he's stuck somewhere, so that he can pass through.
Okay, so then technically then
it's like a commanding power.
So who decides this time? Is it you who gets ready for it, or is God who appoints it for you to be ready for it, or do you just get ready? How does it work exactly?
So, but who decides when maybe the president or the soldier maybe is in the forest, right? Then he's given the power to. Okay, let me say, who decides to respond? You who calls the phone or the one who responds? Who decides?
It's the one who responds.
But you have the power to do what?
You have the power to. You decide to make the call.
Yeah.
But the person you're calling decides to answer.
So now that's how I'm trying to show you. That's the way I can just put it in the picture. Like you have the power of the calling.
Yes.
So if you call me, then I'm able to respond to you. Then that's what do you call that?
Okay. So then while you're doing that, the reason I asked the question is particularly because our goal in this discussion is that we are trying to be whole. We are trying to have oneness with the intelligent one. Let's call him that in this presentation. So there is the Spirit of God, there is God. Then God, out of Him, created us, which we are part of Him. And now He wants us to sort of find our way back to Him in our flesh, because we are now in this flesh that has been purposed to do the purpose of God, which is a purpose of the universe as well. But then, so He has a core planted in our soul, spirit, self, and we have to find it, the calling, if it might be, within. So the Tao has already been Tao. So the question is, can we answer anytime we want? Like we just, boom, I'm going to answer today or next week, or does that get to pass? Can we, what happens to the people who like stray forever? Does it mean that they have over-applied their free will and gone to nowhere, or someday they will? If we're talking in a Hindu sense, that's easy. They will just reincarnate and start again.
Of course, but
in a Christian sense, it doesn't allow us, because what the Hindu cycle does is you're given the same thing, but when the time ends, your omega reaches, you die, and you haven't done it, you're sent back to restart. So you go through this.
Completed a picture of to bring out the whole form of you.
Yes.
Are you saying, okay, this is trying to show me again that like the reason of your passing from this life is just to pick up some pieces.
Yes.
That when you pick up all the pieces you need of life, when you cross that door, you're done. You're never going to come back. If
you have picked up all the pieces.
So now,
if you haven't,
I think the question now is that have you picked up all the pieces?
Yes. Have you picked up all the pieces?
Are you picking up all your pieces?
So, have you picked up the pieces? Are you picking up the pieces? Do you even know that you have to pick up pieces? Ooh. So, most people are stuck at the point where they can see the pieces, they're not picking up anything. They haven't even started. They don't even know they're supposed to. Then there are those who are trying to pick up, but then there are pieces for them, there are pieces for other people. So they're busy picking up other people's pieces along with theirs, so their puzzle is confused. Then there are those now who are picking their pieces, but they're too slow because they're distracted by the rest. The parable of the person sowing seed. So
maybe the person we call the rich. The rich is the one who picks faster.
Perhaps.
And at the time he picks even for other people.
That is another way to do it, because then in the people who are, most of the people who are so-called rich, they actually teeth a lot of people to their puzzle, and they are making their so-called earthly success going, while you are held back and waking up in the morning and toiling and tormenting on their behalf. Slavery in Egypt, the pharaohs versus the Egyptians. That's a good place to stop.
Wow.
So that people can think about it.
Let's go with this one.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you
been very nice.
It was wonderful to be with you.
All right.
Yeah.
We will make some more time another time, and if we get requests, we do a live session.
For sure.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
deficiency disorder,
attention
insanity.
deficient, insanity.
We speak for the 100 silent voices.
And embrace everyone as one.